Hi guys, today I'm going to be sharing some of my current favourites with you. Over the past month and a bit, maybe 2 months, there have been a few things that I have been obsessing over, as in I've been using them multiple times throughout the month or two. So I've got 5 things to share with you, which isn't much, but I wanted to do this video now before it gets kind of outdated. For example, the first favourite is my yellow Kikki.K, which I obviously want to share now because I'm actually planning on moving out of it. Nothing to do with the planner itself, I just wanted a bit of a change up. But I've absolutely loved using this over the past 2-3 months, I think. As I'm sure most of you know by now, yellow is my favourite colour, and when Kikki.K launched this planner I got both sizes in this colour. So I have the A5 or the large size, and I have the personal size or the medium size, but I just didn't get around to using it when I first got it, and that was because I was in and out of other planners. I had a different planning system, I was trying bullet journaling. So when I got back to rings and having a ringed planner, I cracked open this one and I love it. So the planner is one of their textured ones, so it's got like cross hatching, so it's very durable, which is one of the reasons I love it, because I know it's not going to get super dented or marked if I put it in my bag. The personal size Kikki.Ks or the medium size and Kikki.K sizing are nice and chunky, and I love a chunky planner. As you can see, like, this is it when it's closed. It holds its shape and it is just such a nice planner to hold. It's not floppy, it's nice and sturdy, but it's still got a bit of squish to it. Inside it has a black and white zigzag material. It's super messy in here. I have all my stickers sitting here all wonky. And I have scribbles on the back page. I use the back notepad just to jot anything down and also to get a pen to work. So yeah, love this planner. It's not available anymore. You might be able to find one on a planner group for sale or on eBay maybe. But yeah, the only way to get one of these now would be secondhand. I am looking forward to moving into another one, but this has been I love seeing it on my desk. I love this pop of yellow. The next thing I thought I'd share is this. This is a mini guillotine. It's by the brand Tonic Studios, and it is a miniature version of the big one that I have. The big one does come in handy because obviously you can't cut A4 paper on this. It won't fit in here to cut. Once I've cut the bigger paper down, it's so unnecessary to have on my desk because I'm not cutting up massive sheets of paper anymore. I'm only cutting like little squares of paper. So I decided to get this for that reason, and also travelling. If I go to any craft events or I go and visit my family or something, it's handy having a mini paper trimmer with me. Some people prefer the paper trimmers that have the slidey thing on, but my mum had this style and this is what I grew up using, I suppose. So I'm just used to this. I'd say it's probably a bit more dangerous because it's basically a blade that you chop down, but it is a bit better if you are trying to cut multiple pieces of paper at once because there's a bit more force behind it. I got this off Amazon. I think it was only like £11 or something, and it's just so handy to have to hand. I then have my Dymo embosser. There is a little bit of a story behind this because when I first got it, it didn't work at all. I actually had to take it apart completely and put it back together and figure out what was wrong with it. Eventually I realised that I didn't even have to take it apart, but I did anyway, so if anyone wants to know how to put a Dymo back together, then I know how now. But yeah, when I got it, none of the embossing things were working, the space wasn't working, the cut wasn't working. So this is where the label comes out of as you're embossing it, and then you might be able to see there's 2 lines, like vertical lines, which basically shows you which like number or letter you're on. These weren't working. I was putting it on the thing, I was clonking it down, and it wasn't printing the right thing, it wasn't cutting, it just wasn't doing what it was meant to do. But in the end I found out that these 2 discs were not lined up. So as you can see, there's like 2 separate discs here, and what had happened is this wide section, there's one wide section on the whole disc, all of these are like little notches. But there's this wide section here, and that is the cutter tool bit, and that wasn't lined up with the cutting bit. It was somewhere over here. So obviously no wonder anytime I was trying to cut it wasn't working. So I had to kind of force it back round to the cutting section, and from then onwards it has worked with no problems whatsoever. So if you've watched my office tour, I have been using this to label everything in my office. I love how it looks, it's super simple, and it's also tactile. You can feel the words on the label, which is really cool. It's very simple really. You just put these little reels of tape in, you turn it to the letters that you want, and you just pull the little trigger on the side, and then you turn it around to the scissors, which is the cutting bit, and you cut it off. And then you have a little label that has a sticky thing on the back, and then you fold this little bit over and peel the back off and you can stick it on whatever you want. The only thing I will say is when you stick this on a plastic box or something, they don't always come off clean. Some of the ones I've peeled off have left like a black mark, but you can just use nail varnish remover or warm water if you can't use nail varnish remover on that surface. This is a spare reel. You can get different colours. I've been using it in my journals if I want like a personalised title in my journal. I'll try and find a photo of where I used it in my journal and put it on the screen for you. It does have kind of slapdash reviews on Amazon because obviously I think the fault of the wheel is definitely a common thing to happen. So people leave a review saying it arrived broken and blah 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 blah. So yeah, just keep that in mind if you are going to get one. There is a different version, a junior version, which I think has a different trigger. You punch it here instead of here. I think my brother had that one when we were younger. But yeah, that's just another alternative. This has been so much fun to use and I definitely recommend it, even with the odd reviews on Amazon. If you can get one that works, then go for it. And if you get one that doesn't work, make sure you check the discs before you return it. Next, I have a pen favourite, or a pen's favourite. These pens are all from Kikki.K. Since I've been using my mild liner highlighters in my planner, I've been desperately searching for a pen that dries quick enough to not smudge with the mild liners. The Papermate Ink Joys dry quite quickly and they do work really well with the mild liners, but the ones I've got have really thick nibs, so they're 0.5 I think, and I just don't like writing in my planner with that size nib. These ones are the gel ink pens, and I don't know what Kikki.K do differently, but they do something differently because these pens dry so quickly. So I'm going to do a quick example for you. So yeah, some pens I found that even if I wait for them to dry, when I put the highlighter over it, it smudges either way, regardless of if I've given it like an hour to dry or 10 minutes. But these pens definitely work well with the mild liners, and they're the best I've found so far. The last thing I have to show you isn't craft related at all. It's actually a game which, if you watch my vlogs, you'll know that I've been kind of obsessing over Animal Crossing. I got back into the game on my phone and then I got back into the game on my DS as well. I'm sure many of you know what Animal Crossing is and have heard of it before. If you haven't though, it's one of those games that doesn't really have an end goal. You just build your little town up. I'm currently in the process of redecorating my town. There's new things to do every day. You can go fishing, you can catch bugs. You have like a little encyclopedia for you to fill up with all the bugs and fish that you catch. It's just super relaxing. You don't have to think about stuff really. It has music and sound effects when you're playing, which is also super relaxing. Go away, cow. I got it. There's a lot of things you can do on it. I love the graphics, I love all the colourful things on it. If I'm not crafting or working, this is what I'm playing. The only downside is you can get sucked in and time flies massively when you're playing it. It's just a nice game to kind of escape reality for a bit with. So yeah, that is my last favourite. I still have my little poop charm on here from Kawaii Studios. That's been on there for years now, I want to say. It must be years. She's not done the poop charms in ages, so yeah. So those are my 5 current favourites at the moment. Let me know down below if you have any questions. I'd also love to know what you guys have been loving recently, so leave those below as well and we can have a chat. As always, thank you guys so much for watching and I will see you in my next video.